Hey, it's the Mini Mobile Show for Friday, July 9th, 2010. We've got the new T-Mobile roadmap, plus Android continues to take market share.
Plus, it's iPhone Fun Friday, and our sponsor this week is iX Web Hosting. Stay tuned for a code later in the episode to save you a little bit of money on a package.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mini Mobile News. This is Eric Beeler.
And I'm Eric Johnson, and let's look at your Mini Mobile News. If you're on T-Mobile and want to know what's on the horizon for new phones, never fear. We know T-Mobile's plans thanks to a leaked document. Android goodness fills the roadmap. Several Motorola handsets are on deck. The Click XT, and the Charm are all to be announced in September. Also, the HTC Vanguard in September, and an LG device, as well as an additional 2 Motorola devices are coming. Project Emerald is slated for November 5th, a secret device coming from HTC.
Yeah.
A lot of new toys.
Yeah, a lot of new toys and mostly Android-based. So I think we're seeing T-Mobile be the new home for Android devices as well as Verizon.
I think they're trying to stock up their competitive juices against the iPhone because iPhone's only right now in AT&T anyway.
Right,
So
and this Project Emerald, no one's quite sure what it is, but it's supposed to be a big deal.
Okay.
We're probably going to see a new megaphone.
Phone of a different color?
A green phone. It's going to be green.
I messed that up.
Yeah, so old reliable MapQuest may be giving us a reason to try a Google Maps alternative. They just upgraded their website and they now have a brand new iPhone app to go with it. The new version now speaks street names, auto reroutes you in case you miss a turn, and provides fast app switching with iOS 4 multitasking. In the continuing pressure on GPS makers, the app is free as in beer.
Free as in beer?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Free as in beer. Free beer.
But why is beer free? Where do I go to get the free beer?
I don't know. You go to the iTunes App Store. And basically,
I don't want that beer.
So when was the last time you looked at MapQuest?
It has been a long time.
Yeah.
Like it was the de facto maps thing online.
When you print it.
Yeah.
You go there, you type in your directions, and then you print.
Matt, you're right. MapQuest was it's been years. I mean, Google Maps has killed it for me. I've always used Google Maps. So
MapQuest is making a big push.
Spoken street names, auto reroute. So it's free. That's good because there are some good GPS apps on iPhone 4, but
as in beer,
they cost money. As in whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. The battle in the epic war of iPhone versus Android versus BlackBerry versus Smith. I don't know. Shows movement with Android gaining market share, according to ComScore. An increase of 4% in May now has Android with 13% of the market, which leaves RIM with about 41.7% and Apple with around 24.4%. Samsung is the top handset manufacturer with 22.4% market share, followed by LG, Motorola, RIM, and Nokia. So basically, lots of phones, and they're still sort of chopping it up fairly evenly.
Yeah, and Android's seeing a good movement upward, but they're still last.
They're still last. And Apple's really grabbed a lot from BlackBerry, really.
Yes, they have. And, RIM still being the de facto standard big smartphone OS.
Right.
Lots of businesses still use them.
Yeah, it's
but it's not really seeing a growth rate. I mean, really what we're seeing is that the iPhone's taking it, Android's taking a large chunk of it quickly. We'll see. They still got a lot of catching up to do to iPhone, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the flashlight apps for iPhone are getting an update, many taking advantage of undocumented APIs to light up the LED flash on the iPhone 4. We knew that developers wanted to put these apps out, but were unsure if Apple would allow them. Now that they're starting to show up in the App Store with names like 4Light LED, Torch Flashlight, and iLit, seems like they don't have a problem with it.
It's going to work because I've got a flashlight app on mine to light the screen up, and in a pinch, it works pretty well. Especially in the middle of the night when you have to. In a pinch, it works pretty well. But the LED, I think, would be a much brighter. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it lights up now.
The question is, how fast does your battery go?
Probably like 5 minutes, I would guess. But it's not going to take very long. And we'll see, though. But, a bunch of them will be out there. I'm sure a few of them will be free. And if it just turns the light on, I don't see much reason to pay too much money for one of those.
Yeah, I mean, either be free or be cheap or be, I don't know. I want it.
Okay. He wants it.
I do.
Well, that's enough with the flashlights. That's been your Mini Mobile News. We'll be right back with Mini Mobile iPhone Fun Friday. The Mini Mobile Show is a paid affiliate of iX Web Hosting.
Check them out at ixwebhosting.com, and if you use our code CSTech, you can save 25% off your hosting package. Again, check them out, ixwebhosting.com. Welcome back. Now it's time for the Mini Mobile iPhone Fun Friday. Every Friday, until we change our mind, we're going to take a look at some fun things you can do with your iPhone or on your iPhone or to your iPhone. This week, it's all about music and how you can listen to all that great iPod music and your library in your car. So lots of options.
Not in your library, from your library.
From your library, in your car.
Yes, exactly.
Lots of options. First one that's very popular, FM transmitters.
Yes, you see these a lot in the store. You go into your typical Best Buys and Walmarts and stuff. You'll see that there's a large section for FM transmitters. And what are those going to do?
I mean, yeah, and there's several different kinds. Yeah, I mean, we have guests in the studio who are throwing out comments. CSTechcast.com, you can check out Josh Jones and blame him for this.
He'll be on tour.
But there's lots of different kinds, whether they plug into your lighter or whether they're just almost a charge cable that have a modulator, but they all have the same thing in common. They send the iTunes or iPod or whatever you're listening to over a certain frequency, and it overrides any other frequency.
And so basically there's a line out on the back. Let me grab my iPhone. Yeah. When you plug into
like a
your
charge
connector,
cable, and then
there's a couple pins in there for left out and right out. It's just like plugging it into your stereo.
And you set a frequency.
Yeah, and you set a frequency. Now, something like the iTrip from Griffin is going to try to find a free frequency on the radio, and basically it's going to depend on the area you're in on how successful you're going to be, because there's a lot of overlap between different radio stations.
Absolutely, and I've used a couple of these, and my success has been mixed. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad, but it's an option, and it's a cheap, quick option, and it works with all stereos that have an FM stereo. So unless you're got a leftover car from 1953 that only had AM or something, you're in good shape.
No AM.
No AM.
Okay.
And they do make them, we mentioned the charge cable version, they also make a nice version, I think it's Griffin, the road trip,
you can
plugs into your lighter and has a flexi arm,
so
it actually holds your phone.
It just kind of holds it right there. You can see it, you can play with it, and, let your mind wander on that one.
Short of that, you've got on the top of your iPhone, as you can see, maybe you can see there's the 3.5 millimeter cable. So you can plug directly into like a front 3.5 millimeter input jack.
So that's the simplest one, and a lot of modern cars come with an auxiliary input jack. So you can just plug it in and then control things from your iPhone.
And you can use the same 3.5 millimeter cable plug on your iPhone to go into a tape adapter if you have a cassette tape in your car.
So if you're old, you're 98 Hyundai, cassette adapter. And it's actually one of the better sounding ways without doing a lot of modification to be able to get.
It's fairly clean. Another way, and I've actually got this in one of my cars. I've actually got the lighter adapter flexi arm in one car, and the other car I've got a compatible in-dash stereo. So on the back of the stereo, there's a few ports. There's a USB port, there is a video in, and there's a left and right audio in. And what you do is you get this proprietary cable from the manufacturer, and you plug all those ports in, and then you get one plug that goes in your iPhone. The USB gives you control of your iPhone, so the stereo can flip through the library and select your song. And then obviously video and audio give you the video and the audio if your stereo also has a video screen. So a lot of those have their own interfaces and they control the iPod.
Right, and a lot of modern cars, especially when you see the GPS navigation system that comes with the upgraded cars, will often have an iPod connector to them. And so it'll just be in the glove box. And you just plug it on in.
In the glove, and with the screens and some of these things, not only can you send the video, you can get the album art, you can get a list of all the songs. I mean, they have some really nice ones if you have screens.
And some of your cheaper ones, I think I got a $200 Sony that I put into one of my cars. It's got an iPod adapter too. You can control everything from the dash. It's good to go. Okay, and another feature that's coming, for example, from BMW is they're going to be able to use the iPod Out interface. And basically, that means that the interface is not being built by the manufacturer, per se. It's actually going to use a feature that's been on the iPods for a while now, and it's going to actually present an interface via the console.
Via their console, okay.
Yeah. So whenever so it's going to give you the basic album art and the text and everything. But the beautiful thing about that is every time an iPhone update comes out, if iPod Out gets updated, the interface gets updated on screen for the car.
Cool.
So the new BMWs are going to get that. The jury's still out on how that's going to work with the iDrive control, if you've ever seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the seven-way
toggly thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how that works. But obviously, iPhone Fun Friday, this can be done with an iPhone. It can also be done with iPods, iPod Touches, iPod Nanos, anything that you can get a compatible cable for.
That's right.
So these will all work with all of them. So enjoy and happy musicking. Yeah, that's a word. iPhone Fun. Out.
Thanks for joining us today on the Mini Mobile Show. Don't forget, we're sponsored today by IX Web Hosting.
Yeah, check them out, ixwebhosting.com. Use our code CSTech. You can save 25% off your hosting package. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.